God. There. Okay, they're hungry. Okay.
This one's got a bloody nose and a cracked horn.
And a what?
A cracked horn.
When we heard about the case, I actually was able to go out and see the farm from a distance, but also see some of the animals that were on the farm. And I really was shocked at the number of animals and the condition of the farm. The fencing was really run down. The animals were kind of like everywhere. A lot of trash everywhere, which is very dangerous for animals to be, surrounded by trash. They can get injured, they can get caught up in things. But when we got on the site, one of the things I think that was the most egregious of them all was the state of some of these animals. Because again, you're talking about very young animals, especially, who were they're just emaciated and clearly weak. When we saw the sheep, we had no idea with them how emaciated they were, because they are in wool that has not been shorn for a very long time. I'm guessing some of them for years. And the wool was very matted and wet and gross. But when we first got to the scene, we just kind of had to assess. The sheep and the cattle, the adult cattle, were way out. This is like a 300-acre property, so they were not visible at that time. We went through and kind of did a triage of who needed to go where. So the goat area, the goats were in all this fencing where they could just go anywhere, so rounding them up was very difficult because there was just no way to contain them. And then we went through the goats, and while we were loading up the goats, one collapsed immediately. And again, that was one of the ones that was severely anemic, and so was very, very weak. And that goat was put into our sprinter. So we had a whole group of them that went to Cornell the very first day. And that included, I think, 18, and of the 18, 7 of them ended up having to stay at Cornell to be treated. Very high parasite loads and severe pneumonia. And by far, that was the most horrendous part of the whole case, was the pig barn. To know that those pigs were living in that kind of a situation, and then to see the mothers that had babies, and the two babies that we brought here with the mother, they had this like a tiny little island of hay for the babies to get off of feces that was everywhere, and it was like this liquidy, diarrhea type feces. She's really shaky. Just stop. After we got everybody home, it was probably around between 12:30 and 1 in the morning when we arrived back at Farm Sanctuary. We unloaded everybody. We started creating treatment charts and started medications on the piglets and the goats that needed meds and everybody that needed meds. We have such a group of amazing staff and volunteers who were able to go with us and make this rescue possible. We are so thankful that other sanctuaries were able to take some of these animals. And we are so incredibly thankful for all the support we have from our members, because if we didn't have our members, we couldn't rescue anybody. Thank you for everything you do for Farm Sanctuary, from all of these scrawny little goats, and from the pigs, and from the cows, and from our staff. Yeah, thank you for allowing us to do the work that we do.